right, taking on VK Singh for his comments. With me in the studio is veteran journalist Shekhar Gupta. Thank you very much, Shekhar. It's your first appearance on the Newshour tonight. I hope it will be one of many. And on the other side, backing VK Singh almost thoroughly tonight, I think, is Swapan Dasgupta, senior journalist. Thank you, Swapan Dasgupta. Good to see you after a long time on the Newshour this evening. Supporting, a little unwillingly, or rather should I say distancing himself from VK Singh tonight is Sambit Patra. Taking him on is Khushboo of the Congress party who did the press conference. Mr. Rajagopalan, I presume since you're always supporting the BJP on this one as well, blindly you're supporting the BJP. Hartosh Singh Bal, political editor of Caravan.
Unlikely.
Unlikely. You're likely to support or unlikely to support?
Unlikely to support.
Unlikely to support. My God, if VK Singh is not getting your support, this really going thin for
He
it.
should stop such type of comments, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, Hartosh Singh Bal, political editor of Caravan, Ajoy, Bose, senior journalist. And I'd like to start by asking NK Singh, General Secretary of the Broadcast Editors Association, one of the first to bring this issue in as a response. BA came out very strongly on it. He's used the word prostitutes. NK Singh, you are the General Secretary of the Broadcast Editors Association. He's now trying to justify it by saying that, you know, the army is doing a good job in Yemen, but if the military and the Navy and the Air Force is doing a good job in Yemen, does it justify the language that he's used? NK Singh, let's start by looking at
that. For example, suppose we have failed in our duty in highlighting what he has done. Even if he has done, does it mean we will be branded as prostitutes? We don't use this word even for prostitutes. When society grows, human sensibilities are taken cognizance of.
True.
Now, the word prostitute being used on a public forum, that is social media, and that too on Twitter, by a minister, does it not show the pathology of a perverted mind?
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, the way he has been using this word, prostitute, and what does it mean really? Prostitute, I mean, categorically it is a prostitute. I mean, you have camouflaged it and placed it in a different word. But the fact is that it shows the pathology of a perverted mind. How can you use this word for an institution?
Absolutely.
So my only contention is that the very fact that is coming from a person who is a minister in the Union Council shows that the kind of governance we are going to have in the days to come.
It's very worrying.
It is not a single case.
Very worrying.
And other ministers also take recourse to this kind of methods.
And most importantly, that he's allowed to get away. That's most
that's true.
Or that some BJP spokespersons, in an attempt to be smart, are trying to give it a different twist, saying it doesn't have any pun linked to prostitutes. It actually means pressed with an attitude, I mean, which is again an aberration by itself. This whole embarrassing attempt of some people in the government to justify it or distance themselves from what's happening is absolutely unacceptable. Shekhar Gupta, by the way, I want to place on record as I come to Shekhar Gupta, and feel free to come in after the open debate. Shekhar Gupta, by the way, on April 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, each of these days, report after report, coverage after coverage of what has been happening in Yemen. We don't have to take our lessons in what to cover or not to cover from VK Singh, but for the record, so we settled that issue. There has been very extensive coverage of the evacuation operations, you know, across all channels, including ours. Can VK Singh use that now? Can he hide behind the Navy's efforts to justify his use of the word prostitutes?
See, first of all, there is no complaint from Army, Navy, Air Force. People who've actually carried out the job.
Those who've done the job.
Those who've done the job. And I think there's a great deal of appreciation and there's a great deal of gratitude, and we are very proud of them. We are proud of all three forces, but particularly Navy in this case, and the Air Force. You know, INS Mumbai has gone into the harbor under fire twice.
Yes.
Right, and to pull people out. So there is no lack of appreciation for that. Why should that appreciation be individual, and individual also for somebody who's actually not a soldier anymore? Right. I mean, we haven't heard the names of our current Army, Navy, Air Force chiefs lately.
They haven't
lately. So we don't suddenly have a chief of defense staff. Right. So that is so. Let's see. It's the same old story of the politicians taking away credit from armed forces, even if they happen to be ex-soldiers, but today the minister is a politician.
So since we've dealt with this part of the story, should we move to the real issue here? And I go back to the panel. Swapan Dasgupta, then the only issue which remains Swapan Dasgupta. And by the way, it's open. Feel free to come in, anyone. I'm just going to Swapan because none of you are coming into the debate yet. Swapanda, tell me, then the real issue is over the use of the word prostitutes. What do you feel about his use of the word prostitutes? What does it reflect in your view?
Well, Arnab, firstly, let me first thank you for anticipating what I was going to say by saying who will thoroughly support General V.K. Singh. Thank you for reading my mind. Number two, I think the term which General V.K. Singh used is one I wouldn't have used. I think there are far better, under the circumstances, synonyms for what he might want to say. I would have perhaps used cussed, I would have perhaps used narrow, I would have perhaps used small-minded, I would have perhaps used sensationalist. These are various things. It is unfortunate that General Singh actually fell prey to a shorthand which is used in Twitter. Having said that, I think there is a larger question which is involved. You no doubt recounted that the coverage you gave or the other channels gave to the rescue operation mounted by the armed forces in Yemen. Now, but if I was to use the words which you used, touch your heart, appeal to your conscience, and say, what was the hierarchy, what was the time space you accorded to that rescue operation, a momentous feature, as Shekhar has rightly pointed out? And do you not think that a word, something uttered in jest, and it was quite clearly uttered in jest, the sarcasm which was implied, when it's talking about the comparison.
Arnab, it is not that simple as Swapan Dasgupta says.
Swapan Dasgupta.
It is high time that he should apologize.
Let him complete. Let him complete his point. You may not agree with him, but let him complete his point.
You take literally and you try and shout down everybody.
It's not that simple,
You
Swapan
just don't. The point is, there is time when the media must ask itself,
Mr. Dasgupta.
is it above scrutiny?
Mr. Dasgupta.
And secondly,
Nobody is opposing his scrutiny.
The term which was
General V.K. Singh is
by
extra luggage for Narendra Modi.
One second, one at a time. Rajagopalan ji, 1 minute. Calm down 1 second. First of all, to everyone. No, Khushboo. No. Just a moment. Let him complete his point, please. Let him complete his point. Let him. You may not agree with it. Let him complete his point. Let him complete his point. You go ahead.
I have not used any offensive term throughout, if you notice. But all I'm saying is that assume that the term used by General V.K. Singh is by no means very original.
Right.
If people can go back to the 1920s and 1930s, you will recall Stanley Baldwin had once compared the media to having power without responsibility, the prerogative, the age-old prerogative of the...
Mr. Dasgupta.
You know that.
1 minute. Now we'll open this up. I just want to make one point. No, 1 second. There are a lot of journalists on the program and they would like to respond. No, before I open it up, Swapanda, calm down, Swapanda. My only question here is, you make a relevant point. You must ask yourself, Mr. Swapan Dasgupta, just one question. Did someone from the media put out tweets of duty and disgust, or did V.K. Singh put out the tweets on duty and disgust? One. Secondly, if you look at the nuance, where I feel that you want to make a very fine point, but you choose a very bad example for it, Swapan Dasgupta, with respect to you, with the utmost respect to you, is in the fact, if you see the tape of this comment, where he originally says that it's not as exciting in Yemen as it is to go to the Pakistan High Commission, which you say is a comment made in jest. There is no invitation to the comment, Swapan Dasgupta. Now listen to me. So that we see, let's break it down part by part. Let's demolish that argument. You just need to see the tape. You'll go through the tape. I can send you a CD of it. You will see in this case, and Shekhar Gupta has probably seen it, that the reporter, no, 1 second. The reporter has not even asked him anything about the Pakistan High Commission. It is a suo moto comment. The reporter himself is stunned that he's making the comment when he's in Yemen. So it's a terrible bit of satire to do at a time of a humanitarian crisis. Shekhar wants to comment on that. Shekhar, Gupta.
I would only add this to that comment, that there was no controversy about his going to Pakistan High Commission. Controversy only started because those 2 tweets were put out.
Yes.
He had gone representing him. In fact, since I'm on Twitter now, if I tweeted that day, it's a good thing that he's gone there. And he's congratulating the Pakistani High Commissioner as much as his Prime Minister is congratulating his Pakistani counterpart.
Yes. So
it's a national day.
The point is, therefore, yes, Ajoy, Bose and everyone are opening it. The point is...
I think that demonstrates quite vividly that General Singh is yet to become the politician.
Yeah, it does.
Which you actually
it does. But Mr. Dasgupta.
It actually
Dr. Dasgupta, I have so much. Khushboo, I'm opening this up. After this, I won't come in. You can come in. You can take over the. I just want to make one point to Swapan Dasgupta.
Certainly not a diplomat.
Because Swapan Dasgupta has come over a long time, and I like to spar with him, especially on issues where I find he's a little bit on the wrong. Where I find Mr. Dasgupta is only the issue. Okay, opening it up. I'm sorry, I'm opening.
Logical fallacies in that.
No.
I would like to
give me 10 seconds. Give me 10 seconds.
Regard for Swapan, but there are too many logical fallacies in that.
NK Singh, I seek 10 seconds. You're all more senior journalists than me. I promise to withdraw after this one, at least for some time. My point is, Yemen is not a place to carry a grouse. You have a grouse with the media.
True. Yeah, that's right.
Is Yemen a place, Ajoy, supposed to carry a grouse? You're going to do your duty in Yemen. It's not a place to settle your scores with the media, Ajoy Bose.
Let me just remind you. Let me just remind you. Let us move away from the current controversy. Let me take you back.
Well, last year, is Yemen the place for you to settle your grouse with?
Sorry, just a minute. Just a minute. Let us move away from the current controversy and look at this man's record.
Right.
Let me take you back last year, soon after he became minister.
That's right.
He did a tweet criticizing the army chief designate and saying that this man was protecting murderers and criminals. I was very, very surprised that General V.K. Singh continued in the cabinet after that. After all, he was himself a former army chief. He was also Minister
Not a member of the cabinet.
for External Affairs. I was very, very surprised that there was no action taken against him for making such an indiscreet tweet. See, this is a problem. When you don't take action against somebody right in the beginning, you are going to land up with this. And now he's become a serial offender, tweet after tweet, needless controversy after needless controversy.
This is the terrible irony of this.
Embarrassing the government.
This is.
There is no defense at all.
Okay, one second. Okay, so should we open it? Should we open it up? Khushboo is coming in. Yes, Khushboo.
I would like to ask Swapna Dasgupta, Mr. Swapna Dasgupta, what is the definition for the so-called politicians according to you? If you say General V.K. Singh is not a politician yet,
that's right.
What is the definition for being a politician? Secondly, you say that the space on Twitter, if he can tweet at Presstitutes, I'm sure it does not take long to use a more dignified word when he is addressing to the press.
That's right.
And very specifically said O is instead of E, which is very clear for people to understand. What is the space line you're talking about on Twitter? Today, BJP is distancing himself completely from the controversy, and it's not the first time BJP is distancing himself. Every time there's been a controversy. Let me complete. Every time there's a controversy, BJP keeps distancing himself. It's a personal.
There is nothing new. There is nothing.
Should we get the BJP to respond first, Shekhar?
In the BJP.
Should we get the BJP? Sure, okay. One second. Our view tonight. No, 1 second, please. Mr. Sambit Patra, calm down. Calm down. Don't be so much on the defensive.
Patra, you have become, BJP has become the gambit of the
You see, this is, no, 1 second. Sambit Patra.
Rahul Gandhi tearing out the ordinance.
Mr. Rajagopalan, 1 second. You see, to the other panelists, I have a warning. I have a statutory warning. Khushboo. I have a statutory warning to the other panelists regarding Sambit Patra. And I just want 10 seconds to make this point. You see, Sambit Patra has a... No, you want to give him an alibi, you can. Because if you interrupt him, he will say for the next 45 minutes... Mr. Rajagopalan, a minute, please. No, Mr. Sambit Patra...
You don't want me, I will not participate.
I am not taunting you. I am actually...
You don't want your guest to participate. I am dying to participate in your show.
Mr. Patra...
I am not dying to participate on your show, Mr. Goswami. You can have your own show. We are not dying to participate in your show. Please, remember, we are not...
Mr. Patra.
Sir, but to
Mr. Patra.
Senior people like you all cannot get personal on a young person. Senior people like you all cannot get personal on a young person.
Okay, one second, please. One second.
Absolutely wrong.
Hey, Sambit, one second. Hello.
Arnab Goswami,
Why
stop abusing
is
your
BJP
guests. Stop abusing your
BJP
guests,
so
Mr.
much
Arnab
against
Goswami.
criticism?
Learn
The
some
minute there's
behavior and manner.
criticism,
Learn some
they
behavior
back
and
off.
manner before having debate.
Why?
No, tell him we don't love him.
You know
No,
what,
one second,
Mr. Patra? BJP government is just used to getting all these ho about the party. Please learn to take criticism in your stand at all.
Khushboo, please, can you just let me come in for 10 seconds, please? I'll settle this, Sambit. Wonderful.
No,
One second. Don't speak, Sambit. 10 seconds of silence.
You both may gang together, but you cannot run over BJP. Remember this thing.
I thought it was the other way around. I remember. No, Mr. Patra, you're mistaken. I remember very clearly. I remember very clearly.
I need to say something.
Arnab actually taking me to the corner.
Khushboo, I want this debate to be focused, and therefore, for a minute only, I want to say something to Sambit. I have a line of questioning on this. Khushboo, please, one second. Just, I'm going to only Sambit, and Hartosh can come in after that, please, for a while. The only thing I'm saying is that if we, let me ask a couple of questions to Sambit so we understand where he is, and then we'll take the discussion forward, right? And Sambit, nice show of anger. I almost believed it was genuine. Almost. I almost fell for it. Thank you. Now my question for you is, Sambit Patra, what is the meaning of the word prostitute?
Arnab Goswami.
Deafening silence.
As you call rightly,
Deafening.
there are doyens of journalism today in your debate. Khushboo, I believe you have to go to an ENT surgeon to get your ears checked so that you can hear my voice. It's not deafening silence. It is going to be piercing voice, which is going to deliver truth to you.
The minute I have a very piercing voice because
Miss Khushboo, will you keep quiet? Miss Khushboo, will you show some decency?
Shoot off.
Will you show some decency? You are senior to me.
Silence, very unlike
I expect some decency from you.
Absolutely, the same goes with you. We have seen the decency of the BJP.
Thank you, Miss Khushboo, that you watch me. You watch me very intently. You watch me very intently. Thank you for it. But please watch Rahul.
What is the meaning of the word prostitute? I repeat my question. I repeat my question. What is the meaning of the word prostitute?
Yes. I'm shamed. I'm shamed today, Arnab. I'm shamed. Senior people are present along with me. But today, when the whole world, including CNN channel internationally, is discussing about the evacuation process,
what is the meaning of the word prostitute?
Historical evacuation process in
I think
Yemen,
that's a nice.
We know the meaning is we in India
Ajoy,
have
Bose,
let
this
down
is again
India
that
today.
feeble attempt.
When the world is standing for a humongous evacuation procedure, look what the senior
unable to answer the question. What is the meaning of the word prostitute?
They are running down their own government. When America, Germany, France, Europe is speaking for us. When Japan television shows a story for us, but here we are.
Hartosh is responding. Hartosh, again tonight, again a second time, a question is asked. A question is asked and the question goes unanswered, and the question is only based.
By trying to divert the issue, something Mr. Patra.
Look, introspect.
Hartosh.
The meaning of the word prostitute, despite Swapan's disingenuous claims, is not equivalent to sensationalist or cussed.
Yeah.
When V.K. Singh tweeted, he also introduced the letter O. The implication is clear that there is an exchange of money for illegal favors granted. That is the implication, and more so, it is not individual. All of us are quite prepared to take nonsense from louts on Twitter, and V.K. Singh sounds like one. But this is institutional abuse, taking on everybody. He has trouble with an institution that seeks to question his actions, and this is becoming very common for this government. 2 days ago, Modi is questioning the actions of the judiciary.
That's right.
Today, V.K. Singh is questioning the actions of the media. As long as institutions don't fit their framework, they become corrupted in their view.
And by the way, the BJP is yet to... Swapan wanted to respond. Swapan Dasgupta wanted to respond. Sambit, the reference was to Swapan Dasgupta, let him come in. No, the reference was to Swapan Dasgupta, let him come in. No, Swapan Dasgupta, the reference was to Swapan Dasgupta.
I just want to make a
Swapan Dasgupta. Swapan Dasgupta. Swapan on the screen, please. Swapan Dasgupta.
Or the Manmohan government.
I just want to say,
and you know that.
So
do not make up these things.
Look, look, this is getting like a bloody it's getting like a public brawl. The point is, the media...
What was the word you used, Swapan?
Not a trade union. The media is not a trade union. This was a comment which was directed against Arnab Goswami.
Okay.
I don't believe there's the efficacy that comment should have been made on Twitter, but it was a comment directed at Arnab Goswami. Now, unless Arnab Goswami has assumed the mantle of the entire media, I believe that this is something which is specific, a comment on the behavior of times now.
Swapan Dasgupta.
And therefore, let us just stick to that. Let us not get into everyone said.
Swapan Dasgupta.
It's not one of those.
Swapan Dasgupta. No, Swapan Dasgupta. 1 second. Swapan Dasgupta, hear me now. I have no such presumptions. You may choose to have that kind of fantasy.
I'm glad
I have no such presumptions. Secondly, as I said, Swapan Dasgupta, at a personal level, I have great respect for you. But let's be very clear about where we are, what we are talking about. Firstly, and Swapan Dasgupta, I hate to point out on national television that you're factually wrong. This particular story, which is the comment of unsolicited suo moto comment of VK Singh saying Yemen is not as exciting as Pakistan, by the way, was not a Times Now exclusive. It was covered by the entire national media. 1 second. No, watch. So, it was,
I'm talking about the offensive one.
No, 1 second. There's no offensive.
I'm talking about the offensive.
There is no, Swapan Dasgupta.
The P word.
Swapan
The P word.
Swapan Dasgupta.
The P word has your name there.
Swapan Dasgupta, the P word was used by a man called VK Singh. One. Secondly, since you are saying today,
exactly.
yes, but
and
the generic,
in the context of Arnab.
Swapan Dasgupta, yes, that's all right.
So it was
see, Mr. Dasgupta.
So it was not.
See, Mr. Dasgupta. Just let me tell you.
It was not an attack on the media. It was an attack on Arnab Goswami.
Mr. Dasgupta, when we unearthed the CWG scam, it was one person who spoke about us, right? Called Suresh Kalmati. When we unearthed the 2G scam, the one person spoke about us, and he spoke about. The person was A. Raja. When we exposed the Kargil for profit scam, relentlessly went on for 3-4 days on it, leading to the resignation of a person called Ashok Chavan. The entire BJP, nobody called us prostitutes at that point of time when the CAG scam was reported. Nobody called us prostitutes at that point of time. Even if I may say so, when I personally asked the Prime Minister a question on the Devas ISRO scam, right, and the conflict of interest which was exposed in that case. At that time, nobody calls us prostitutes. In fact, when the Patra scam was exposed, bit by bit, when every detail corroborated by the then army chief, each leaf of that scam was exposed. In fact, the greatest cheerleader of the media at that point of time was a person called VK Singh. Now, VK Singh messes up on Twitter. Vents on Twitter, he can have absolutely no issues. But, Mr. Dasgupta, he is now a minister. And there has to, my question is, he's not some private citizen.
Goswami,
he is a minister.
Which is why
you understand what I'm saying?
Which is why I began by saying that the use of the P word was absolutely unfortunate.
Yeah, but then, Shekhar Gupta. Shekhar Gupta, please.
Diversionary, cussed, etc.
No, 1 second. You may try. Mr. Dasgupta.
When we talk about the feat of the Indian Army, the rescue operation, you talk about something else.
Mr. Dasgupta.
That is what
Mr. Dasgupta, this is. I'll tell you one thing. Mr. Dasgupta. Listen to me. I remember your position.
No,
Mr. Dasgupta.
Your credentials as a very good, fine journalist who has actually heralded the #1 channel is impeccable. I have little or no doubt of that.
No, about Arnab Goswami.
Even the best one.
This is not, the debate is not on. No, I want, no, the debate, I go, the debate is, no, the debate is,
error of judgment
no, the debate,
your hierarchy of news.
No, one second, the debate is not here. It's, by the way, this whole issue of the hierarchy of news was also made once in the past. Hartosh, this argument on the hierarchy of news, Hartosh, was made in the past. I am sorry to say this in the context of the CWG scam. There were some people, when we were exposing the CWG scam, I don't want to take names, including some people in the media who said, how bad of times now to talk about the CWG scam. We are actually hurting national interest. There are people who are doing good things, and we are talking about the CWG scam. That was even linked. In this case, it's not linked. Hartosh was finding this amusing. I go back to the politicians now. Khushboo, do you think the BJP should take a position on this? Instead of trying to pretend we have nothing to do with it. Yes, please.
No, they cannot just wash their hands off on every issue, saying every time you have people from the BJP passing these kind of lewd comments. Let me finish.
Sambit, I've asked Khushboo.
Mr. Sambit, there was a simple question for you. What does prostitute mean? You are yet to answer. So I would very humbly request you that when you cannot answer a simple question where it says, what does prostitute means? Let's forget it, Mr. Sambit. Mr. Sambit, let's not get into it. You did it, I did it, so it's equal. Last time also I said the same thing to you. There was a simple question raised to you. What does prostitute mean? And you do not have an answer to that. Let me give you an answer to this. BJP cannot take criticism. BJP cannot take criticism. BJP cannot take anybody pointing fingers at them. BJP cannot take, because you have your Prime Minister calling the press. No, let me remind you. Let me. No. That is what you do. You point one finger at UPA, but then you. No, do not, Mr. Sambit Patra. You have got a fantastic tactic
I'm on a key issue.
I have realized BJP has a problem. Every time there's an issue which has to be discussed, BJP jumps to something which has happened in the past. Let's talk about the present. You don't have an answer. You don't have an answer for a simple question. What does prostitute means? You don't have an answer to that. I'm asking you. I just want to remind Arnab. I just want to remind Mr. Patra that when you have Narendra Modi, when you have your Prime Minister Narendra Modi calling the section of media as Bazaru, VK Singh calling them as prostitutes is no different. It's the same. What does Bazaru means? What does Bazaru mean? So you have a Prime Minister calling the press as Bazaru, and here you have General VK Singh calling them as prostitutes, which all means we understand what it means. Do you have an answer for that? What Prime Minister does, the people in line follow that. No, you have to answer one question.
I want to follow up on
what
that.
Does prostitute mean?
I want to follow up on that. Let me tell you what VK Singh said at 10:09 p.m. on the prostitute means, and Sambit Patra said something like prostitute means press with an attitude or something
Institute.
like that. No, this is the NK Singh, the word which was used was prostitute. In this context, on the 26th of February 2014, VK Singh had said, FYI, for all those hyperventilating on the term prostitute should know, to persons whose pen is available to the highest bidder, which is why Swapan Dasgupta, with again greatest of respect to him, is thoroughly wrong when he thinks cussed is a synonym for this. It's not. It's a sweeping generalization on the media.
It's a sweeping generalization on the media. I said he should have used.
Therefore the word should be debated. The word should be debated.
So
the word prostitute has to be debated. He is a member of the ministry.
I have great respect for Swapan. For the first time, I am finding that he is logically incorrect. There are so many logical fallacies in his argument. First, he goes to generalize the entire debate, saying that no, he wants to strike emotional card, saying no, you tell me, are the journalists doing right thing? But here he goes takes a generalized position. Then all of a sudden he says that no, it was specifically directed to Arnab Goswami. Read the first line, very first line.
Yeah.
It categorically says media. He uses the word prostitute. And Swapan, I don't think you are so gullible that you will not not realize the connotation of this word's meaning. So it's very clear.
Simply, Arnab,
no, what's Shekhar Gupta, please. Shekhar Gupta. No, let us therefore.
Arnab
Mr. Rajagopalan.
in the tweet.
Mr.
Isn't the word Arnab used in the tweet, or is that something of my
Mr.
optical
Swapan
illusion?
Dasgupta.
It was post. See the first line.
Why don't you put it up on
Please
your
see the
screen?
first line.
Is the word
Then go to
Arnab
second line.
mentioned there or not?
It was last.
In order to ensure that
Mr. Dasgupta.
in order to ensure that
It is directed at Arnab.
Prestitute is
Mr.
correctly
Dasgupta.
understood.
Mr. Dasgupta. Mr. Dasgupta. Mr. Dasgupta.
You can very easily
Mr.
decipher as to what exactly he means by that.
Swapan, Mr. Dasgupta. Mr. Dasgupta. Mmr. Dasgupta.
See, Arnab,
Mr. Dasgupta. Hear me.
You go for generalized, touch emotional chord, and then come to specific, and then say it is against Arnab. It was categorically against media, and then Arnab was just mentioned so that the word, the meaning of that word is not this.
It's a trade union issue. The media is not a trade union.
You don't know that the word prostitute exists.
Swapan Dasgupta, Mr. Dasgupta, Ajay Bose is coming in. 1 second. I want to come in before that.
Arnab is mentioned. How does it change anything? How does it change anything if Arnab is mentioned? I think
That's
the
true.
same thing.
Exactly.
You are calling a well-known journalist.
No, we are talking about the coverage
and you
of
are
Times
saying,
now.
please.
We are talking about the
I'm
coverage of
sorry.
Times
You cannot call him a prostitute.
No.
I think
I have to come in here for a second.
Ajay Bose.
saying a word.
Because he has attacked Times now.
Ajay Bose, no, watch. By the way, Swapan Dasgupta, a minute,
Should
please.
a minister resign
Mr.
because he has
Dasgupta.
used unparliamentary language to attack Times now?
Mr. Dasgupta, when you watch, Mr. Dasgupta, Mr. Dasgupta, a minute. No, watch, Mr. Dasgupta, a minute. When you were a full-time editor, you would have taken it as a compliment if a minister who had exposed himself would abuse you. In fact, I would be very worried if they wouldn't. Now, the second question is, I repeat, and you should know about it. I have no problems, Mr. Dasgupta. We are in the job of questioning the establishment when they go wrong. Mr. Dasgupta.
You have no problem.
Mr. Dasgupta, you see, now let me tell you one thing. I don't believe in the rules of Lutyens journalism where you have to satisfy people who are in power. Now, my question is, if he's done something wrong, if he has done something wrong and messed it up, if he wants to say, I'm going to take on this particular journalist, despite knowing that the story has been covered by the entire national media, that is not the issue, but that is not the issue. The issue tonight is simple. The issue is the BJP has not taken a position on it. 1 second. Mr. Dasgupta.
The issue was that you had a debate on that.
Mr. Dasgupta, the issue is that VK Singh, who's a member of the Modi ministry, is brazening out tonight. Mr. Dasgupta, let's not go to the aside, let's go to the core issue. You are good at going to the core issue if you wish to, I know that. VK Singh, without explaining his tweet, is brazening it out by adding a hashtag till the last few minutes using the word prostitutes, which means he's actually felt pretty emboldened by the fact that his government and his party has not taken a position on it. It said you explain it yourself. That is the real issue. It sets a precedent. Shekhar wanted to come in. Shekhar.
Look, I think
that is a form of Twitter language.
Yes. We need a fact check on this.
Yeah, please.
See, first of all,
1 sec, Swapan,
first of all, we are all thick-skinned journalists.
Absolutely.
Right? Thick-skinned, shameless.
Absolutely.
We've been called all kinds of names. In fact, I've been called much worse abuse and prostitute much before internet was invented. Right? Foreign agent, traitor. Sure. These things are normal Twitter currency.
Sure.
But prostitute is not meant in any terms other than prostitute. In fact, if you see the usage there, it is not the first time. In fact, it's the third time that this has been used in public. Twice it was used for the institution for which I worked. Once when I was there, the Indian Express was called a prostitute and all journalists were called prostitutes. It was an institution. The second time I wasn't even working there 2 weeks back after the Express covered the High Commission story quite well. I must say, I have nothing to do with the Express now. Then he said the word P fits this newspaper like a glove.
What did he mean by the word P?
But
Shekhar, just a point. Don't you believe that if it is a minister who talks about the word prostitute, he should stick to the issue. He should explain what the word prostitute means. He should not pun about it.
No, but
let him be direct about it and then let the party respond to it.
Let me just complete this. The fact is that I don't think journalists should be bothered even for one moment.
Truly.
I think all these abuses
what about the government? Should the government be bothered?
But when somebody is a member of the
government be bothered?
When somebody
should the government be bothered?
No, when somebody is a member of the government and continues to say so, then you wonder if that is the view of the government as well.
Yes.
Because that's an important journalistic point. And frankly, the way the word has been used, it means that on this panel, 9 out of 10 of us are prostitutes, including Swapan Dasgupta.
Yes. That's the real issue. So let's come back to the issue. I'm glad. I'm glad you picked it up. You see, because.
And it's also misogynistic.
Because we take away. One second. We take away. 1 second, please. We take away from this the whole habit of falling back into the trend that when you vilify, you are on the back foot, but endorse your opponent when you are on the front foot.
No,
the question tonight
it is misogynistic, right? Even Supreme Court has held the right to work, prostitutes' right to work is misogynistic. It's feudal.
The simple question, and there are
sexist.
there are some people tonight who know.
So, Shekhar, are you suggesting it's not a pejorative term?
No, Swapan.
I said it's pejorative and sexist and feudal.
You are endorsing the Jholawalas who talk about
Swapan Dasgupta, since let's be direct about it. The fact is, you know, any politician after becoming a politician can become a complete opportunist. There is no problem about it. But a question will be asked. VK Singh had no hesitation revealing the allegations with regard to the Patra trucks deal to the media. When he was revealing these details to the media, was there a quid pro quo between him and the media? Were the media prostitutes at that point of time, as his pun suggests? Does he have the evidence to prove it? And if he has said here, and I think the critical issue is, let's absolutely go right to the point tonight. He is saying tonight, your pen is available to the highest bidder and hence you are a prostitute. In other words, you're a professional prostitute in the field of journalism. My question is tonight, Khushboo, if he's made the point, he should produce the evidence or retract it, or the BJP, his party and his government must ask him what evidence he has to prove. He should, what evidence he has to prove that anyone's pen is available to the highest bidder.
On this, Mr. Sambit, Patra, let me complete. Arnab has raised a question to me. Let
20 minutes on the debate left. 20 minutes.
How does Khushboo know about BJP?
20 minutes left on the debate.
You know about Congress, so I know about BJP. We sail in the same boat.
Sambit, don't heckle. You'll have your turn. 20 minutes on the debate. Don't heckle. Don't heckle. You'll have your turn.
The amount of knowledge you have about Congress, I have the equal knowledge about the BJP. Right?
So okay, continue. No heckling. No heckling.
We are not into this. Yeah. Mr. Sambit Patra, आपके पैतरे बहुत अच्छी तरह जानते हैं. Let's not get into this. You have not given an answer to a single question. And to Arnab, your question that has been raised against me, let me tell you. No, I haven't finished, Mr. Sambit Patra. Mr. Sambit Patra, show some decency, please.
Is it true?
Okay, one second. I'm setting the rules.
The word decency.
I am setting the rules. 20 minutes left on the debate. Sambit Patra, if you interrupt, one second. Khushboo, a minute. Khushboo, 1 minute. If you, Khushboo, Sambit, if you interrupt Khushboo, Mr. Khushboo, Sambit, you know what? You are not a badly behaved person off television. Why do you want to be badly behaved on TV? The question is, if you heckle Khushboo, I will let Khushboo speak. If Khushboo heckles you, I will let you speak. Now you don't heckle Khushboo, let Khushboo make a point. Unless you listen to the point, you won't understand. Khushboo, speak her audio up. If she heckles you, I'll bring her audio down. Go ahead.
BJP will never come up with explanation to kind of people have been using the abusive language within the party. Secondly, they will never have an answer because we have found in the recent past, since the BJP government has been formed, that every time there's a controversy of one of the BJP member, they do not come with an apology, they do not come with an explanation, they all distance themselves. It is blamed on the Twitter, it is blamed on some other, it always said it was a personal aspect. I would like to remind them that there is a section which needs to be, you have to maintain a decency, you have to maintain dignity towards your fellows, because it's after all a small world. Why is BJP getting into this rut of calling different kinds of names? Secondly, when you look at it, when they say prostitutes, we do not even call women, we do not even call the sex workers as prostitutes anymore. We call them commercial sex workers. And I would like to remind General VK Singh that prostitution, being the oldest profession in the world, is not done out of a habit. It's not done because you want to be in it. Please understand, the woman is forced into this profession of selling her body to make the ends meet, to understand and take care of her family members.
Okay, so
you do not insult only the media, but you also bring shame to every woman who is into this profession, and which is not out of choice but out of force. So you bring shame to them.
Now, Khushboo, 20 minutes left on the debate. I'm coming in and I want to make a couple of points, then I'll come to Sambit. A couple of points which need to be made here. You see, a serial offender often finds himself in a trap. This man is a serial offender, as in he makes mistakes. One was when he made a glaring admission on this channel. I did an interview with him when he made an admission that the army had been paying the government in Jammu and Kashmir or some political forces in Jammu and Kashmir. It was his own mistake. He was in the soup. Maybe he should have said it or not. He landed himself in trouble. It was his own fault. Secondly, when he tweeted about duty and disgust, it was his own fault. Nobody forced him to do it. This particular comment about Yemen not being as exciting, Mr. Rajagopalan, as as the Pakistan High Commission, is his own comment. It is his own
comment,
fault.
Arnab.
This is all.
He should apologize for this, and the matter ends.
But he's not
because he should not blabber like this.
Does not end
As
there.
a general, he cannot speak like this. He should mind these words.
Yeah,
he cannot blabber.
Yeah,
he is not a joker.
Yeah.
He was general of army.
Yeah.
So
now, therefore, since we are fairly clear on the terms of Mr. Dasgupta, a question, Mr. Patra, a question is to you.
Mr. Patra, why do you always feel it's like a colony between me and Arnab?
People will continue to question your anchoring. People will continue to question your debate.
Today people are questioning you, Mr. Patra. People are questioning BJP.
Mr. Patra, I'll bring you back to the subject. You see, Mr. Patra, no, one sec, Khushboo. Problem is, Mr. Patra, if you just watch yourself,
you have to hit to the people's emotions also. Go through the social media today and you will know what the face of the debate is today.
Right.
What is the face of the debate, Mr. Patra, you're talking about?
No, I think we should be very, very grateful.
The people are disgusted because of the fact
Khushboo
that we are not
she has
allowed
answered the question.
Now, Mr. Now the question, Mr. Patra, I am requesting 1 minute. Hartosh, 15 minutes into the debate, not one single statement from Mr. Patra on the critical issue. Right? He's yet to condemn the remarks. He's yet to condemn the remarks. He pretends he doesn't know what the word prostitute means. He refuses to accept the fact it's a minister who's made the comment.
What you desire. I keep facts. I keep facts in the table of the debate.
Mr. Patra,
I don't answer according to what
I'm
you desire.
interested in this rather new policy of the BJP that there are spaces where a senior minister of the government can express personal views
You have to gang up. You
without...
have to gang up.
Nobody is ganging up, Mr. Patra. Why are you into this?
Nobody is ganging up. When somebody else speaks,
why do you feel? I didn't feel the same, and I was
not ganging up. Allow me
Mr. Patra, if you continue like this, it's not looking good on you. I'll just say.
I challenge the Times now to allow me that amount of time that the Times now allowed the Congress spokesperson. Just that amount of time.
When you
not
stop,
more than that.
Stop, please. Now stop.
I'll wait.
Now stop. I'm telling you, just stop for a minute, okay? Firstly, Mr. Patra, don't dare us. Don't threaten us. Don't heckle. And answer questions. Hartosh, 15 minutes on the debate. 15 minutes on the debate, Hartosh. Now I'm addressing Hartosh. You can't keep talking over me, right? Hartosh, 15 minutes on the debate. Do you think that the BJP spokesperson should take a position on the use of the word prostitute?
This is a debate where the
Patra,
core has been the Bharatiya Janata Party. So I, as a
Patra, you're taking it too far.
You know, have every right to keep my view. I have been patiently waiting, very courteously requesting you, raising my fingers. Yet I am not allowed my time slot.
You see,
and
this is
then
you see,
Hartosh.
Now you see, I'll explain what I'll explain. Hartosh, I'll explain what no.
And gets one voice in.
Hartosh, please.
Patra thinks he's the only one who can raise his voice and not be listened to.
Go ahead.
The simple point is that Mr. Patra is not answering an essential question.
He's not
that
answering.
question is, where and when does a minister have a space for personal expression that the government does not endorse? Does Giriraj Singh have personal space? Can he make speeches? Can he tweet without the government endorsing these views? Is the BJP saying anything said on Twitter by anyone is his private business and not the government's business? Can such an absurd claim be sustained anywhere?
Where you derive your inspirations from. So please don't
Mr. Patra, this is the same thing the Congress spokesperson was saying. You mentioned the Radia tape. You did not publish the Radia tape, Sambit Patra.
Don't worry,
when all this was going on, where were you, Sambit Patra, when the Congress party was under attack?
My simple question,
Mr. Patra, you are paid by a political party, not me. So, Mr. Patra, don't get in the way and make stupid allegations. Mr. Patra, you can keep shouting, but the essential point is very much simple, that you cannot generalize and make allegations that you cannot substantiate, nor can your ministers, nor can your Prime Minister. It is as simple as that. Just because you can raise your voice does not mean that other people cannot raise their voice and answer you in equal measure, measure for measure, over every statement that you continue making, despite the absurdity of your claims.
Now, okay, so one point. You see, the longer Ajoy Bose, it's very interesting, fascinating what's going on. And Sambit, just keep quiet for a while. Don't do this. Don't do this, please. Don't do this. If you think it's Ajoy Bose constantly, we are giving him
everything you know.
You have been calling,
and I'm willing to take it on any time on a one-on-one debate.
Ajoy Bose,
and you have been calling.
Ajoy Bose, what do you think? Ajay Bose, the point to be made is that General VK Singh, I'm only being very patient with you, Sambit. Sambit, I'm only being very patient with you. I'm only being very patient with you. Don't mistake that for my indulgence. Don't mistake my indulgence and my patience for my tolerance of the rubbish that you're speaking.
Mr. Goswami,
don't do that. Don't do that. You are the one who call us and say we want to come on Times Now debates. Mr. Patra, you don't want to come on Times Now debates, don't.
Why
but
not?
don't come
Why
on
not?
this channel and not answer any question.
It's a big platform.
So if it's a platform, Mr. Patra, Mr. Patra, you want to come on these debates.
You yourself claim that this is the best channel. What if we want to come in your channel?
Ajay Bose, what explains this kind of behavior tonight? Ajay Bose, please. Ajay Bose, look at this.
What is the problem in that?
Ajay Bose, what's going on?
Why do you get personal, Mr. Arnab Goswami?
All
I desire is a 50-second time slot.
I'm
sorry, let us not go.
Okay, let's go back to the issue. Let's have a serious debate here. Let's have a serious debate. The issue is, go back to the serious. Ajay Bose, please. Ajay Bose,
can make an emotional harangue.
Please, Ajay Bose, I've indulged this enough. Now let's go back to the subject.
I just want to say one thing. Listen, Arnab, this is not a slugfest between General VK Singh and Arnab Goswami or Shekhar Gupta or one individual journalist. We are talking about an institution. When of the political class, and particularly ministers, cabinet ministers, responsible public people start using language which is wholly inappropriate on public platform, we as journalists have the right to question it. I mean, let us get this into perspective. I mean, this is ridiculous for the BJP to say that this is a personal Twitter account. He's a public figure. He's a minister. He's discussing an institution. He cannot hide behind that. These are my personal remarks.
Exactly.
The party that he belongs to, the government that he belongs to, cannot take this excuse.
It's simple.
It's not possible.
No, and I'd like to elucidate it. I'd like to elucidate that point with a simple explanation, right? That BJP criticized comments of Giriraj Singh on Sonia Gandhi. Those comments were made in an off-the-record capacity. They were on camera. If they could condemn his sexism, racism, which were made in an off-the-record capacity, why are they not taking a position on VK Singh? The Prime Minister himself spoke about Sadhvi Niranjan Jyoti as she was a cabinet minister, condemned what she said. Why are they not applying the same principle for VK Singh? The BJP got a press conference to clarify the tweets after his visit to the Pakistan High Commissioner's residence. Why doesn't it now take a position on what he said? In fact, the press conference of the BJP today exposes the party's hypocrisy. It's duplicity, it's double standards. You claim VK Singh's remarks are personal, but that's hypocritical because Twitter is not a personal forum. When Digvijay Singh defends Robert Vadra's actions in a tweet when he assaulted the media, the BJP didn't say then Digvijay Singh has said things in a personal capacity. It slammed Digvijay Singh, the Congress and Robert Vadra for slamming the fourth pillar of democracy. I mean, how many examples do you want me to give you here? The BJP did not call Twitter a personal forum when it slammed Shashi Tharoor in 2009 for his cattle class comments. They asked the Prime Minister to resign and apologize for his remarks then and called for Tharoor's explanation. Simple point is the same logic applies here. Shekhar and Swapan want to come back.
If I can add something.
Yes, please. Shekhar and Swapan. First, Shekhar.
That's when Venkaiah Naidu of the BJP made his immortal comment. Too much tweeting leads to quitting.
Absolutely.
Right? And those were not personal. But having said that, first of all, I will never complain about being abused. Right? You know,
sure,
abuse is fine.
That's not even the issue.
Abuse is fine.
That's not.
But the question is that the silence of the BJP
exactly.
and the sort of the cheeriness of entering the debate or distancing itself properly from it is very surprising.
It's also out of, it's uncharacteristic of the BJP.
Well, I mean, I personally did not even protest, Arnab. I'm sitting next to you. When you gave General Singh a forum to abuse me and the Express
sure.
On the first day of our story, and he said, I have a sick mind, I'm a nutcase. He said Ramnath Goenka must be turning in his grave, although he was cremated, and many such things.
Well, absolutely.
This is par for the course. Aapko bhi gali padti hai, humko bhi gali padti hai. That's okay. But this is now institutional, and this is worrying because it also shows a feudal mindset. This is almost like we are back in the 1940s.
Why is it important for the BJP or the government to take a position? Well, why is it important?
Well, BJP has to tell us. BJP has to tell us where does it stand on its ministers acting.
Because he's a minister. Because he's a minister.
There is no personal thing. In fact, his Twitter handle has his own picture in full army uniform.
It's not.
It's not a personal thing.
So, Swapan Dasgupta, the point is the importance of the BJP and the government to take a clear position on this. Mr. Dasgupta.
May I just say, yeah. Number one, as I repeat over and over again, Mr. General Singh has been extremely casual in his choice of words, number one. Number two, it is undeniable that General Singh has done an exemplary good job in Yemen along with the armed forces, and that fact cannot ever be hidden. Number three, in his offensive, purportedly offensive tweet, he was guilty of a half-truth.
Now, yeah, so the BJP question is not that, Swapan Dasgupta. Let's go to the very
He was guilty of a half-truth.
5 minutes.
Which means only half of it was a lie.
5 minutes into the debate. The question is very simple. Ajoy Bose, we go back to the question, should the government and the BJP stop pretending that VK Singh never said this? You know, because that seems to be the position overall. Ajoy Bose.
Absolutely.
Hartosh?
No, absolutely. They are in denial. They are completely in denial.
Yes, absolutely.
They don't seem to, they seem to be just washing the hands of the VK Singh incident. Instead of taking action. And as I pointed out, they should have taken it last year when he made those comments about the army chief designate.
Precisely.
This will go on.
No, I think, Ajoy, they are delighting in your discomfiture. They are delighting in your discomfiture.
No, I'm sorry.
No,
I'm sorry. I am Swapan Dasgupta. Swapan Dasgupta.
And I think that there is a huge groundswell of support that the media too must be accountable. And I don't know whether the BJP is articulating that, but certainly that's the position I would say.
You see, Swapan Dasgupta. Swapan Dasgupta. Swapan Dasgupta. One second, Swapan Dasgupta. Mr. Dasgupta, Mr. Dasgupta, Mr. Dasgupta, you have held an editorial position in the past, and I agree with you. that the media should be accountable. No, one second. Swapan Dasgupta, hear me. Swapan Dasgupta
comes to an end.
Swapan Dasgupta. Dasgupta.
You're a responsible entertainment channel. Come on.
Swapan Dasgupta, let me just...
I'm sorry, a news channel.
Let me... Swapan Dasgupta, Swapan Dasgupta, it doesn't behove you to try and make some cheap below-the-belt remarks. That's fine. My point is, I believe the media should be responsible and the media should be accountable. But Mr. Dasgupta, there are certain channels...
Absolutely.
...which faced certain questions during the Radia tapes. I believe that was an important issue, and the media should be accountable on issues like the Radia tapes or the cash for vote scam. So the question is, the real responsibility of the media comes up in cases like the Radia tapes, and I'm sure that you agree with me.
Which basically shows that there is media and there is media.
Now the
You're
question.
just saying that.
Mr. Dasgupta.
That there are some people who are very noble, and there are some people who are a disgrace.
So, Mr. Dasgupta, as I said,
this is not an attack on an institution, because the institution covers so many individuals of varying quality.
Swapan Dasgupta, you are a... Mr. Rajagopalan.
Deviating from the main subject.
No, that's all right.
The media is not the press club bar where attack on one rum bottle is free for all.
Mr. Dasgupta, just, don't... I think you're making a very genuine...
Very degrading. This cannot be accepted. It's very denigrating.
It doesn't behove you, Swapan.
From a person like you.
It doesn't behove you. I'll only say this, Swapan Dasgupta, some of what you're saying today is...
There is a gripe which a lot of people have against the media coverage of the Yemen.
Mr. Dasgupta, it doesn't behove you.
VK Singh is next on again for Narendra Modi government.
Mr. Swapan Dasgupta,
say apology.
have been very casual in
What are you doing?
Of the Yemen
Mr. Dasgupta.
That trivial issues are given priority.
There is one thing, Mr.
The national honor of India is sometimes buried.
Mr. Dasgupta, you see, first of all, I am telling you, and I don't take great satisfaction in telling a person who has at least a decade and a half more experience in journalism, or used to have, that you are making certain observations which don't behove, the fact that we expect you to focus on the subject at hand, which is what VK Singh said. If you want to make certain below-the-belt cheap comments, it's okay, Mr. Dasgupta, but it is generally not expected of you. That's all right. But now I'd like to go back to the issue, Khushboo. Khushboo, come back to the issue. Should there be an acceptance? Are we setting a precedent here today? Are we setting a precedent here today? Are we setting a precedent where any minister, any politician can say anything? Generally, and there is no standard of accountability. That's the real issue.
It's not accepted. Yes. It's definitely not accepted.
The point
this kind of language is not accepted.
Yes,
Mr. Dasgupta, there's only one question.
What is the language?
Mr. Dasgupta, please.
That's what I've been saying.
Khushboo, Mr. Dasgupta, in your words, you said General VK Singh has been very casual.
His choice of words is extremely casual.
Mr. Rajagopalan.
Yes, you mean to say that very casually you utter these kind of words? Mr. Dasgupta, are you trying to tell me a person who is a minister, who has served the country, a person who has been held in such a high esteem of every Indian.
No,
Mr. Dasgupta, 1 second, please. 1 second. Mr. Dasgupta, I please, right now, I don't want you to, like Sambit was heckling Khushboo sometime back. He has a political reason to do so. You don't, so let her make her point. It doesn't behove you to be heckling her like that. And by the way, Mr. Dasgupta, another point is, Mr. Dasgupta, Mr. Dasgupta, listen to me now. Listen to me. You see, Mr. Dasgupta, lessons in journalism and journalistic accountability are fine. But and it becomes a bad habit. You see, CWG scam, 2G scam, Devas ISRO scam, Kargil for profit scam, Aircel Maxis scam. One second. Mr. Rajagopalan, 1 second. That may be entertainment for Swapan Dasgupta. For us, it's journalism. Right? NK Singh, that may be all entertainment for Swapan Dasgupta. For us, it's journalism. And that's the journalism we do and the journalism we practice. So beyond the point, we seek no bouquets. We seek no bouquets from politicians. You may feel, Mr. Dasgupta. You may feel, Mr. Dasgupta, you may feel it is important for politicians to give us bouquets. In the journalism we preach and practice every day, Mr. Dasgupta. We don't seek
Dasgupta.
bouquets. We don't seek gratification. So you must understand that. Thank you very much. I didn't want to respond to you, but I had to tell you when you cross the limit. NK Singh. NK Singh wants to say something to you. NK Singh. NK Singh. NK Singh.
What was in question today?
NK Singh.
Why Swapan is not understanding the basic question? What was in question today? It was a minister who has used a word which is normally never used by even common man. He used an abusive language to denigrate an institution.
Absolutely.
Is it not as simple as that?
And now
you are, when you are saying, Swapan, just hold on, Swapan.
Let's not forget, Mr. Swapna Dasgupta,
just hold on. When you say,
very casually.
Swapan, when you say that no, VK Singh should not have used this word, I denounce that. Again, you say that what about media? Then you balance it by denigrating media, and that to Swapan a person of your stature, your seniority, denigrating media in those terms. Do you think it behoves this behavior?
The other point is very important, which Swapan Dasgupta must answer and actually understand. The point is that perennially, once a Swapan Dasgupta, listen to me. Listen to me. The point is very simple, Swapan Dasgupta. Mr. Dasgupta,
where is the question of today? Media
the point is really on his side.
Is that the question today?
Hartosh, the issue tonight. Hartosh, I'd like to get Hartosh in. Hartosh, the question is tonight.
Widespread disquiet over the media indifferent coverage of the Yemen
Mr. Dasgupta, I don't know the journalism you have preached or practiced in the past. The journalism that I practice, and I practice every day, right? And I'm a working journalist. I'm not even a columnist. The point that the journalism I preach and practice every day is a journalism which cannot be perennially tilted towards one political party. And that's the journalism we preach and we are proud of. Hartosh, I want to get... No, some may believe that you can practice a journalism that is perennially pro particular party, but it's not a good... Now, Hartosh, I'd like... No, I'm not talking about... I'm making a generic point. Swapan, why are you reacting? Swapan, why are you reacting? I'm making a generic point. I am making a generic... You don't have to react.
Over the media's coverage.
That's all, Mr. Dasgupta. I don't believe in a journalism. I don't believe in a journalism where you need a certificate from a political party. I don't believe in a journalism, Mr. Dasgupta, where you need to build a long intellectual argument to somehow find a justification perennially for one political party. I'm talking about my journalism. I'm not talking about yours or anyone else's. Hartosh.
That is the prerogative entirely of choosing.
So then, Mr. Dasgupta. Now, Hartosh wants to make a point. Hartosh.
Arnab, the same terms of debate that the BJP is using against the media have been used against us by the Congress 2 years ago, 3 years ago.
Absolutely.
The same kind of sustained assault.
Absolutely.
We've heard this over and over again, the same charges.
Absolutely.
Only some of us can claim that we've been abused in similar terms by both or all three parties.
That's true.
That have the national sphere today.
That's true.
Certainly, let us open ourselves to scrutiny. I've always said that there should be complete disclosure of anybody who's in editorial level position of every financial transaction that he makes.
Yes.
I think this should be part and parcel of our profession.
That's true.
It should apply to me, it should apply to Swapan Dasgupta. We should all know where every single paisa flowing into our account comes from. I'm quite willing to make that disclosure over the last 5 years, 10 years. I think everybody on this panel should be willing to do it.
I don't know who's talking. But you are completely at
Mr. Swapan Dasgupta, it's Mr. Hartosh Singh talking if you have any confusion.
If you so desire. So do not, I say, make baseless insinuations in a slimy fashion. I do not know what your credentials are.
I'm not making any baseless insinuations. I said let us all be open to scrutiny, Mr. Swapan Dasgupta. Since you want so much scrutiny, let us open ourselves to
scrutiny. Do not question my integrity. Please,
Mr.
Swapan Dasgupta, what it is all about.
I'm not questioning your integrity. I'm saying open yourself to the same scrutiny that you want others to open themselves up to.
What about yours?
You have made so many statements about the media being open to scrutiny.
But attack me for my ideas.
I don't care whether you want to ignore or not. But let us open ourselves to scrutiny,
I don't know who you are. So please just remember that.
I don't care either. I'm just saying, why don't you open up yourself to scrutiny that you want others in the media to?
Do not question my integrity. Please,
I'm not interested in your ideas, Mr. Swapan Dasgupta. I'm saying
that people
allow yourself the same scrutiny that you want others to suffer from.
Do not question integrity.
Come on.
Do not question integrity.
I'm not questioning integrity. I'm saying scrutinize it.
Mr.
Do you object to that?
Who was that speaking, incidentally? Who was that
Hartosh
speaking?
Singh Bal is the name. Swapan, try and remember it. I'll say it again and again.
Hartosh,
Open yourself to scrutiny.
are you the ombudsman? It is available
No,
for
I'm
scrutiny of the
saying
income tax authority.
this is the standard of disclosure we should apply to all of the media. Why not, Swapan? Let's declare this right now and then. This should apply to all editors of the media anyway.
Open it about to everyone. Open it. Do that.
Yes,
but
It's your government. I'm saying declare it, make it part and parcel of every editor's
Why
job.
are you asking me that question? Why are you asking me?
It's your government, Swapan. It's Sambit Patra's government. Open it up to scrutiny.
He's entirely right. I'm not a working journalist. I am a columnist now.
Were you ever a working journalist? I'm trying to find that out.
Yeah, please do that. Please burrow into the archives. It will do you a world of experience, a world of good.
And as I said, let's open ourselves to scrutiny for those period of time.
Yes, I'm sure. I'm sure. At the time when you were
then go ahead. I'm willing. Are you?
Yes, and also look at my credentials.
Yeah, I know that's the sign of a befuddled mind, Swapan Das.
Please do that.
You know, gentlemen.
Please.
You know, gentlemen.
Please, absolutely.
You know, gentlemen. Scam after scam was broken out. The journalism of today.
Not about your
NK, I don't know what's NK, you see what's coming. No, I don't need lectures on journalism from anyone like VK Singh.
Yes.
But I'll tell you, NK, the journalism we preach and practice, which shook the edifice of corruption in this country.
Yes, that did.
Made corruption into a public issue. This is a journalism which takes no gratification, seeks no favors, and has no tilt.
Exactly.
And I say tonight, let the political class of this country and those supporting the political class of this country reconcile themselves to the new journalism.
We are not wedded to any political
Absolutely,
party. It is very clear.
Arnab, you know, finally today in the debate, BJP has achieved the target they had set for. Never discuss the core point of the debate.
We can never question integrity of Swapan Dasgupta. We can never question the integrity of Swapan Dasgupta. But at least we can question his logic power today.
No.
The way he has been denigrating, trying to denigrate.
Now let us go politics of it, Arnab. We have to speak about politics.
From the debate.
On return of Prime Minister from France, he will take definitely an action against Mr. VK Singh. Because it's going to be a political one. Whatever we have discussed, these are all different altitude altogether.
There is a tweet by a journalist. There is a tweet by a journalist. If you want me to read this tweet,
I once again request everyone.
I should read this tweet from a journalist. A journalist should never make himself, herself a story. Never, ever.
Mr.
Nobody made himself or herself a story. Who made a story, Mr. Patra?
Sambit.
Your minister made a story. I'm
coming to you for the last word. The point is this. I'll tell you one thing. I'll tell you one thing. The point is very simple here. We have given you, I said 10:16 p.m. At 9:05, our viewers will remember. At 9:05, which is 1 hour and 11 minutes back, I first asked Sambit Patra what he feels is the meaning of the word prostitutes. In 1 hour and 10 minutes, he couldn't give me a reply. Shekhar Gupta, what's the moral of this story for VK Singh and others?
The moral of the story quite simply is that we as journalists are not protesting that we've been abused.
Yeah.
Right? I've been called, you can call me, anybody can call me a pig or a dog. I don't become a pig or a dog. Right? Somebody called me a wheeler dealer, don't become a wheeler dealer. But even then, my question wasn't answered.
Sure.
So this is not the point. The point is now we have still a relatively new government in power.
That's right.
Right? This is a liberal country. Yeah. And there can be debates in terms of how liberal this is between left and right, but it's a liberal country.
Sure.
It's a country where media has been accepted as a necessary nuisance for 65 years. Now, do these statements tell us that this is this government's view of the media?
Unless,
if that is the case, it is something which is worth taking notice of.
What in this case the government's whole emphasis is somehow let the story die down. Yeah, quickly, please.
One more thing, but I owe it to Swapan. Look, Swapan was my colleague. Swapan worked at the Express as the head of my editorial page when I was the editor of the paper. I have to tell you that Swapan's conduct was professional.
Right.
He and I had many disagreements on principles. He wrote what he wrote in his columns. I wrote what I wrote. The editorial line continued. And I think it's very wrong to bring in personal integrity into these issues.
The question here is
whether yours or his or mine or
you see, the point is
Arnab, let me come back on that. It's an important question.
Yes,
it's not about personal integrity. It is about editorial integrity across the board for every editor. It is not about Swapan, it is not about Shekhar, but they should also be part of this process.
Okay, 1 second. So I'll close this by only saying we await to see what the BJP says. We gave them 1 hour and 10 minutes. VK Singh, we've sent him an interview request. Let's see if he accepts it this time. I'm looking forward to that. Thank you for joining me, ladies and gentlemen, on debate number 1.
One last point. The media should not be above. Media should also be subject to scrutiny.
Like in the Radia tapes, Swapan Dasgupta. Like in the Radia tapes. Thank you very much for joining me, Swapan Dasgupta, on the Newshour tonight.